Hello, everybody. It is my great pleasure to introduce Milan Petronijevic. He's a handball coach and functionary, but it is best for Milan to introduce uh, himself, his name, age, place of practicing, sport you practice, etc.
Hello to everyone. Thanks for your introduction. I'm coming from field of handball, where I'm working for a long time as a handball coach. I started already in 1996. And from the other side, I'm contributing to the sports of handball by being functionary within the European Handball and International Handball Federation, both as an international expert or a lecturer and also event manager of biggest competitions in the world.
And what are your biggest achievements in your sport?
Actually, as a coach, I was working on the top national level by winning the national club competition in Serbia. And as a functionary, I suppose that as an event manager or the competition manager, I had this lovely opportunity to be twice on the Olympic Games as the director of the handball tournament and on all world competition, both on men's and the females level from 2015 until now.
And how many years of experience do you have as a coach, functionary?
As a coach, I thought I was started as a student after the first scholar year in 1996, so it means more than 20, almost 30 years, but actually not working right now as an active coach. And my international career as EHF lecturer started in the 2012 and 2010, both on European international level and as competition manager, I started working from 2015.
And do you have experience in training both genders?
Actually, I have to admit that I was not working on field with both with females and men's teams, although there are some differences in the general approach. But during my lecturing process, education process of the both coaches of both genders, and by organizing all these competitions, I have quite a lot of this kind of experience.
Okay, thank you. And do you have faced stereotypes regarding gender equality or inequality, maybe?
But generally, in teams performance, if we are comparing both men's and women's championship, I have to admit that there are no major differences on this stage. If we are speaking about the attractiveness of the game, about the game tactics, sometimes even the tactics of the female teams, it's more comprehensive when it's performed on site, about the game dynamics and probably high physical performance. But from the other side, I have to admit that there are some differences, as statistically, we can confirm that there is the higher interest for the men's competitions. There is also more audience in the arenas when we organize those competitions, and the biggest interest concerning the TV rights. From the other side, when we are talking about the women's coaches, we can speak, are there any disadvantages or not? And the general question, does the female coach maybe a top coach? And I have to admit that if we are comparing the level of competence and the number of the coaches, as we are increasing the level of the competence or the higher performance, there is a less and less female coaches. But from the other side, we have very good examples of very successful coaches representing this gender. So it means by the adequate support of the female of the coaches, this kind of goal is possible. So what we can expect from the female coaches first in this long process of education and their development to show some commitment and dedication. From the other side, to work hard on their educational and other competencies that may make them successful in this working field. From the other side, institutionally, from the federation, to support them on this long way and to give them the possibility to prove their talent. And in this regard, I suppose that first of all is the responsibility of the national federation who are working on field of education of the coaches and the continental federations in all particular sports.
So you already answered on my last question. So do you have some additional remarks about gender equality in sport or some additional practical recommendation? Do we have to say anything else?
Yeah, yes, yes. Sorry for speaking in advance, but I suppose
Okay.
I suppose that I was reading your mind. So probably I'm good role model of somebody who can let's say help in this regard. And as I'm actively taking part in the education process on national and international level, when we're speaking about the competencies or the coaching business in the field of handball, I think that the one of the probably biggest obstacles can be that all representatives of the female gender who are aiming to dedicate themselves in terms of the education and the whole process of gaining all competencies to be a successful coach in field of handball. They have to make, first of all, their own hard decisions and to be committed in this regard.
Okay, thank you very much for this beautiful interview.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Goodbye to everyone.